Hi, seekers of wisdom. Welcome to another episode of Chronicles of 1900. My name is Abraham Sunday. Remember, it's an inspirational podcast for you, and I'm giving you this every week. This is just my experience and me bringing about what I think you need to be able to succeed in the UK and even in other parts of the Western world as well. Last week, I talked about things that you need to be able to rise above the system. I talked about the fact that why are people struggling financially, and I mentioned clearly that there are two anecdotes to this problem, and I've got a good experience of both sides. Right? I mentioned clearly that you need to be able to reorientate yourself and get the right information because information is key. And if you don't have that reorientation, you're gonna struggle. The second part of it is how do you rise beyond the system? Like I said last week, the system has been structured in a way that you have to live by minimum wage to be able to survive. You got to just keep that roller coaster life going. But the reality is God has not called us to be subjected to penury. We live a life of freedom, and that's why we are here to say that we can actually do things beyond the scope of man. What am I going to tell you about today? I'm going to tell you about four key things, right, that can help you rise beyond the system. Four key things that help you rise beyond the system. Number one is you must understand your domain and develop yourself. Number two is you must go after the high paying jobs. Number three is you must learn how to start a business, a side hustle. And number four is that you must be wise and know how to apply wisdom in things. And I'm going to give you a practical example on how to do it for a mortgage. Now let's go back to the first one. When I talk about you must understand your domain, what do I mean? Remember last week I talked about you being a banker, bank manager for 20 years, and then you move to the UK and they tell you have work experience, we can't give you the job. So you have to be subjected to maybe any job that you can find, maybe care, warehouse, or customer service, just to be able to put the lights on. Your family, you got to pay bills and everything. I've seen people do this for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. They thought they would get out of it, but they couldn't get out of it. But I'm here to tell you that you must understand who you are, where you are, and how you can develop yourself. That is the first thing. What's your domain? What's your terrain? Let's keep our example as it is. You are a banker. You worked in the bank for 20 years, 10 years before traveling to the UK due to one reason or the other. Maybe you came for masters, or your wife came for masters, or maybe you're single, or you feel like you want to have a better life. The thing you must understand is for you to be able to have a way in this country, you must develop yourself and meet the UK standard. And when I'm talking about meeting the UK standard, it's having the UK experience that you need. Once you have the experience, you thrive. How can you do this? You can do a volunteering role. You can apply to volunteer organizations where you know they're doing what you want to do and do the volunteer without getting paid. You have a greater target ahead. It's not about the money they want to pay you now. It's about the fact that you need the experience. You can also take courses that will provide you with UK experience. Part of what I do is I train. I'm a coach. And I do help people to be able to have UK experience. Train them and also give them working experience. You need platforms like that. Maybe you want to be a project manager, a business analyst, a DevOps engineer, a KYC analyst, know your customer from the bank, or you want to be a compliance manager, a policy manager. It doesn't matter wherever you've done before. Or maybe a hospitality manager back home and you want to do something like that here. All you need to do is find a training platform that can train you or where you can volunteer and they can give you the work experience that you need. By having the work experience that you need, you would definitely be able to use that as a leverage to now apply for the job that you want to apply for. It might require you to cut down your own care job hours to be able to get the experience or to get the training done. It doesn't matter. Another thing that you must understand is that when you have a target ahead of you, you work with your target, you plan, like I said in last week's session, you plan ahead. You know what you want to do. 6 months down the line, I want to do this volunteering job, get this experience, and then begin to apply for the role. The number two thing that you must do to go after high paying jobs. You cannot sit down on that minimum wage and expect one miracle to happen. God will do miracles, but you also need to help yourself. Heaven helps those who help themselves. How do you help yourself? Get certification, seek knowledge. You might have not done it before, but you want to do it. The passion, which I call, there are two things I do teach people, two D's of success: the desire and the determination. You need the two D's to succeed. You have the desire. The desire will help you to be able to get into it, but the determination is what keeps you on even when you're tired. So you need to find knowledge, seek knowledge. When you seek knowledge, you'll be able to go after the high-paying jobs. Right? Somebody is working as a project manager. He gets paid 60 grand per annum, or he works as a business analyst. He gets paid 500 pounds per day. I want to learn how to do it. Where can I learn? Can you tell me where to go and get this knowledge? Oh, I know somebody that wants as a compliance manager. How can I learn to be a compliance manager? What can I do? Seek knowledge. Oh, when you finish the training, you need to be certified as a policy manager. You need to be certified as a Microsoft Dynamics expert. You need to be certified as maybe a policy manager. All those things are there for you to be able to ensure that you can then get the high paying jobs. Imagine if you can get a job where they are paying some people 15 pounds per hour, right? And they get maybe 10 hours shift, 150 per day, and you can do a job and they can pay you 500 pounds per day. You're getting times 3 or times 4 of their money, and you are still doing the same thing they are doing before. I'm going to talk about how to maintain a lifestyle and how to scale in a further episode. But today I'm just going to tell you about how to ensure that you can go for the high paying jobs, because unless you want to wait till when you're 60, 65 to be that wealthy person, to buy the car of your choice, the house of your choice, to be able to go for the holiday of your choice, is fine. But I don't think I want that for myself, and I don't think you would want that for yourself. If I know you very well, based on where I'm coming from, we want to live our life, we want to enjoy our lives. So what do? You go after the high paying job. How do you go after the high paying job? You need to seek for the certification and the knowledge that you need to be able to get that job that will pay you above minimum wage. This country pays for skills. In this country, if you can do it, you're going to get paid for it. Forget about anything anybody's saying to you. Once you have the skills, you have the expertise, right? And you can prove that you can do it, you're going to get a job. That's it. And I can tell you this with every conviction, because I've been there and I know what I'm saying. The number 3 thing that you must do, you must learn how to start a business. Why would I say you must learn how to start a business? It's not everybody that can start a business. But the truth is that starting a business is an easy way for you to gain a second income. A second income will help you to be able to stay afloat when it comes to little things like bills and the likes. How do you start a business? I do consultation. I do brainstorming session with people. I try to help people bring out their ideas. What you need to understand is, what is that thing that you like doing that if I don't pay you, you still want to do it? That is where your passion lies. To somebody, it might be that you like shopping for people. To somebody, it might be that you like plaiting hair. It might be that you like maybe playing football. It might be that you like maybe selling online. You love accessories a lot as a woman. You like bangles, you like earrings. You can research. You can spend 3 hours researching online for the best and the most recent ones. It means that your passion is there. Why don't you turn your passion to money? Why don't you start selling those things to people? You don't have to do it as a full-time job, but you can do it as a part-time job. You can do it as your secondary income. And then before you know it, God can breathe on it, you can scale on it. And before you know it, you will rise beyond the system. Remember, this podcast is talking about how you can rise beyond the system. So by having a second job or second income, right, maybe a business, you can actually rise above the system. Remember, you can have businesses that is structured around your work. I'll give you an example. I do teach people to sell online on e-commerce like Amazon, eBay, and the likes. I still have products as well that I do sell online. What you can do is that you can have a business, right? that you will be using to sell things online that you enjoy, and you structure your packaging of your product around when you're back from work. If people order throughout the whole day, by the time you come back from work 9 o'clock, you can spend 2 hours, 3 hours, pack everything that they bought, and then you put them out for shipping tomorrow. Get it to the post office or put it ready for post office to pick it up, and then they deliver for you. It doesn't matter if you make £1 on each of them. If you sell 20 every day, it's £20 for you. So second job or second income as a business is something you need to be able to rise beyond the system. And the last thing that I want to talk about today is you don't have to wait till 25 years to pay your mortgage. You don't have to wait for 30 years. Yes, that is the standard. But if you are wise, wisdom is profitable to direct. If you are wise enough, right, you can simply do what I call pay extra of your mortgage on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis, and that will drastically reduce your interest maybe by 10 years. Let's put the proper mathematics to it. If you get a mortgage from maybe NatWest, right, or maybe Halifax, and your mortgage is 1,500 every month, at the end of the year, you're probably paying 18,000 on your mortgage. If maybe the mortgage you got is maybe 200,000 that is left on it, they will tell you that you can pay maybe 10% of that mortgage on a yearly basis. Now, what that does for you is that if you're on a 5 years fixed mortgage, by the time you're paying, you pay extra 20,000 in the first year, or maybe extra 15,000 in the first year. The second year, another 15,000, another 10%, another 10%. By the time you spend 5 years paying that extra 10%, by the time you look at the total amount of money that is left on your mortgage, you'll be shocked at the reduction you're going to get. By doing just that approach of paying extra, or actually paying your mortgage twice a month if you can, right, can save you 10 years of interest. On a 30 years mortgage, can even save you 15 years of interest. And remember, it's about just having the wisdom to be able to do the right thing. How can you live beyond the system? You can rise beyond the system by applying wisdom in the things that you do. Some people will say, oh, why would I pay extra every month for my mortgage when I can use the money to go and buy another mortgage? Yes, you can have another property if you have the money. You can do buy to let. I'm going to talk about that later on when it comes to property and investment. But what I'm telling you right now is that you don't have to live in that pressure of paying the mortgage for 25 to 30 years. I hope this podcast has been able to bless you again. I'm going to be coming back again to you to be able to give you more information about how you can be free from the system financially. I know this is a challenge so many people are having, and I'm more than happy to share my experience with you. But until next week, when I'm going to be bringing you another episode of this podcast. And next week, what I'm going to be talking about is how to get yourself into the job. How to get yourself into the job. When I mean the job, I mean the job that can get you to rise beyond the system. Okay, how to get into the job. For today, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. I love you. God bless you. Remember, it's an inspirational podcast. Drop your comments, reach out to me if you have questions. I'm more than happy to support you. My prayer is that as you continue to listen to this podcast, you'll be inspired to do greater things in the mighty name of Jesus. Thank you very much. God bless you, and see you again next week on Chronicles of 1900, an inspirational podcast by Abraham Sunday. Thank you.